Just a few months ago, absolutely no one was talking about data centers in space. Enter Elon Musk, SpaceX, and the grand plans. Now the conversation is not a matter of if it makes sense, but when. Here's Elon Musk's bestie, Scam Altman, describing their viability. Keeping in mind that if OpenAI, or more accurately closed AI, were to go down the path of data centers in space, at this point in time, they would need to use SpaceX for those launches, a Musk-led company.
There's another space race that I keep hearing about.
I honestly think the idea with the current landscape of putting data centers in space is ridiculous. It will make sense someday. But if you just do like the very rough math of launch costs relative to the cost of power we can do on Earth, to say nothing of how you're going to fix a broken GPU in space, and they do break a lot still, unfortunately, we are not there yet. There will come a time, space is great for a lot of things. Orbital data centers are not something that's going to matter at scale this decade.
This seems like some crazy doublespeak from Sam. If you don't listen carefully to the actual words used, you might get fixated on his claim that as of this current millisecond, the idea of data centers in space is ridiculous, which, when he did suggest that. He then continues, very carefully, cautiously, and deliberately choosing his words to imply that space-based data centers for AI training and inference won't, quote, matter at, quote, scale this decade. And it's close to impossible for him to be wrong with this carefully worded statement. Even if, before the end of this decade, which just for the record is almost 2/3 complete already, so just a few years from now, even if there are some data centers in space doing AI inference or training, there's so little time left in this decade and so little global launch capacity today relative to how much there'll be in the future that it's impossible for him to be wrong with these claims. Even if there are some AI data centers in space before the end of the decade, relative to the amount of compute back on Earth doing the same tasks, it's going to look like a drop in the bucket. So, rather impressively, Scam Altman has somehow managed to throw out the word ridiculous, which will capture all the headlines. Scam Altman, OpenAI, says AI data centers in space, ridiculous idea. Yet, has actually completely agreed with Elon Musk's predictions and SpaceX's public timelines, estimating that they'll be economically viable in, call it 3 to 4 years, which would be next decade. Which, I guess, it would logically follow then that if you are SpaceX, you'd want to be going balls to the wall on this plan, designing your satellites, ramping up solar production, sourcing your AI chips, refining your Starship design and reusability to get launch costs down, which, funnily enough, is exactly what they're doing. Oh, and one final thing. The reason for launching massive amounts of AI training and inference into space is because there's going to be a massive energy shortage on Earth. It's already starting to manifest. But a few years from now, it's going to be ridiculous. Whereas in space, free energy from the sun 24 hours a day. Meanwhile, wake up, babe. New definition of AGI just dropped from Demis Hassabis, co-founder of Deepmind, one of the AI OGs. Perhaps you've heard of AlphaGo, AlphaZero, AlphaFold. This is far and away the best definition I've yet heard of how we will know we have created AGI.
Look, my definition of AGI has never changed. So, which I can tell you is we've always defined it, and I've always defined it since I started working on this 20, 30 years ago, as a system that can exhibit all the cognitive capabilities humans can. Now, why is that important? First of all, because the brain is the only existence proof we have that we know of, maybe in the universe, of a general intelligence. That's also partly why I just studied neuroscience, because I wanted to understand the only data point that we have that this is possible, right? And understand that better. And so that's the definition I use. It's quite a high bar.
So far, this is the cool story, bro part. There's nothing novel here. I think most people would agree with this. But just wait until he specifies the example of how you would know you have something that meets this very broad and general definition.
Because it means if you wanted to test the system against that, it would have to be capable of all the things humans can do with this brain architecture, which is incredibly flexible. It's clear today's systems, although they're very impressive and they're improving, they don't do a lot of those things. So true creativity, continual learning, long-term planning, they're not good at those things. And another thing that is missing is general consistency across the board at capability. Of course, in some circumstances, they can get gold medals in international maths Olympiad questions, like we did last summer with our systems, but they can still fall over on relatively simple maths problems if you pose it in a certain way. So that shouldn't happen with a true general intelligence.
So far, he's really just pointing out what I describe as the AI autistic savant phenomenon. Might be superhuman in some domains, but completely fucking brain dead in others. And now here comes the proposed test. This is so good.
Be sort of a jagged intelligence like that. So there's still quite a lot of things missing. I think the kind of test I would be looking for is maybe training an AI system with a knowledge cutoff of, say, 1911, and then seeing if it could come up with general relativity like Einstein did in 1950.
I've yet to hear a better definition. Train your AI on the sum of human knowledge up to a historical point in time, press go, and see if it can rediscover new physics that was previously unknown at the cutoff point for its training data. Or, better yet, train on all available data right up to the present moment, and then let your AI discover new physics. Elon Musk's recent pinned post today, he wrote, "Understand the universe," which is the goal of Grok. He then elaborates, "From this goal of Grok, all things flow. Rigorous truth-seeking, appreciation of beauty, fostering humanity, discovering all physics, inventing all useful technologies, consciousness to the stars, and love." Now, some of this may sound a little esoteric, but this is extremely practical. The key to everything here is discovering not just new physics, but all physics. I don't want to get too far down in the weeds here. The physics nerds will already know, but for those of you who don't, humans seem to have a pretty good understanding of the way things are, a pretty good understanding of physics. There's just one extremely significant problem. We know that we are wrong. Something is off. There's a major contradiction between general relativity, which was discovered by Einstein. We heard Demis giving that example, train up to 1911, then see if it rediscovers general relativity. It explains most things at a human-ish scale perfectly well. We also have quantum mechanics, which describes things at the atomic scale and below, and does a great job of explaining things. Just one problem. These two theories are incompatible. There's contradictions. They can't both be right. So we know there's something seriously wrong with our perceived understanding. So the discovery of all physics may involve just a few little incremental changes to our perception and understanding, or a wildly new framework that completely unifies all physics. This is the key. When you have a complete, unified understanding of all physics, you've now cleared the path for inventing anything and everything that is possible, which will include discovering how to spread consciousness among the stars. Funnily enough, just 10 days before this post from Elon Musk, I saw some guy with 3 first names who wrote this. SpaceX's plan. 1. Create off-site backups of humans ASAP to ensure the survival of consciousness and life. Now, I'm not the guy that posted this, but I think he may have used plural for backups to suggest both the moon and Mars, at least as starting points. 2. Use Grok to better understand the universe. And this is no secret. It's on the XAI website. Grok's mission is clearly stated to understand the universe. So use Grok to better understand the universe and discover new physics, including how to extend consciousness and life to the stars. 3. Extend consciousness and life to the stars. Any questions? Back to Musk's post. Encapsulated in these 3 words, understand the universe. A prerequisite to this is discovering not just some new physics. No. All physics. The first new physics discovery from an AI is going to be a major milestone. When that occurs, we will know we've transcended from having useful, intelligent, autistic savant-like AIs that can regurgitate, reorganize, and predict to something else. Just a single new discovery in physics will pave the way for many new technologies. But the discovery of all physics, essentially unifying our understanding of physics, whether it's completely new or just a few little tweaks here and there, I don't know. But this is the goal. From this goal, all things flow. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.